If you look at the skies over the Middle East right now, you aren't seeing commercial flights. You are seeing the terrifying start of a regional war. Over 200 Israeli fighter jets just executed the largest flying mission in their history, dropping munitions on 500 targets across Iran in a single day. But they didn't just hit radar systems. In a massive coordinated strike, the United States and Israel just decapitated the Islamic Republic. Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, the supreme leader who ruled Iran for 36 years, was killed in his Tehran compound. Before we go any deeper, make sure you subscribe and drop a comment telling us if you think this is the end of the Iranian regime or the beginning of World War III. Your engagement keeps this independent analysis alive. Washington and Jerusalem thought they were ending a regime. President Trump went on Truth Social, called Khamenei one of the most evil people in history, and declared this the greatest chance for Iranians to take back their country. But Iran didn't surrender. Instead, the surviving leadership pulled a lever that has instantly set the entire Middle East on fire. If you thought the region was chaotic before, you need to see what just happened. Because Iran is now firing back, and the consequences are landing directly on the doorsteps of America's wealthiest allies. Let's get everyone on the same page because this moved incredibly fast. For decades, Khamenei was the untouchable architect of Iran's nuclear program and proxy networks. But early Saturday morning, February 28, 2026, the US and Israel launched a massive decapitation strike, co-named Operation Epic Fury and Roaring Lion. They waited for senior Iranian officials to gather, and then they wiped them out. The American and Israeli media immediately started running the headlines, "Iran's leadership destroyed, regime in panic." But the regime had a contingency plan. Senior official Ali Larijani, who survived the strikes, immediately warned that the US and Israel would receive an unforgettable lesson. And he wasn't bluffing. Hours after the attack, Iran launched a massive barrage of ballistic missiles and drones not just at Israel, but simultaneously at US military bases and allies across the Gulf. You need to understand why this retaliation matters and why it is terrifying the global markets. I want to give you the receipts right now. Receipt 1. The 6-country target list. Iran didn't just shoot at military bases, they targeted 6 Arab countries simultaneously: the UAE, Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, and Jordan. In Dubai, falling drone debris set the iconic Burj Al Arab Hotel on fire, and the airport was damaged. In Saudi Arabia, the very country that reportedly lobbied Trump to launch this attack, missiles rained down on the capital. Iran is sending a brutal message. If Tehran burns, the entire Gulf burns with it. Receipt 2. The oil choke point. This is the receipt the markets are panicking over. The Strait of Hormuz sits right at the center of this war zone. Millions of barrels of oil move through it every single day. With Iranian missiles landing in Abu Dhabi and Kuwait, the global energy supply is under direct physical threat. This means the war risk premium on oil is about to explode, threatening to crush the Western economy. Receipt 3. The succession crisis. Underneath the explosions, Iran is facing a historic internal crisis. Khamenei had the final say on all policies. Now, there is a massive leadership vacuum. However, the remaining officials know that their only chance of survival is to prolong this war, imposing such a high economic and human cost that Washington is forced to back down. So why is this spiraling out of control so fast? Trump operates on the strategy of maximum pressure. Eliminate the top leader, shock the system, and wait for the regime to collapse. But he is dealing with a country that has spent 40 years preparing for exactly this day. By striking US allies across the Gulf, Iran is outsourcing the pressure. They are making the leaders of Saudi Arabia and the UAE pick up the phone and scream at the White House to stop the bombing before their wealthy cities are turned to rubble. So, what does this mean for you? If this regional war continues, we are looking at a massive disruption in global energy. It means gas prices don't just go up, they skyrocket. It means the global economy could be dragged into a recession just as a massive new war demands billions in US taxpayer funding. So where do we go from here? The clock is ticking, and the US military says the bombing will continue uninterrupted. Scenario A: the internal collapse. The decapitation strike works. The Iranian Revolutionary Guard,